think it's going. Maybe. I think it's live. Yep. I think so. I'm not hearing anything though. Okay. Let's see. Do I have audio? I guess so. Okay. I mean, excellent connection. I can't quite tell, so let me just double check here and see if I actually am live. Let's see here. Let's see. Am I live? I don't know. Is it? Yeah, yeah. Yeah? All right, it is. Yeah, it's my cat. All right. All right. Perfect. As you can tell, this is my first live stream. All right. So, cool. We are live, or rather, I am live because it's just me, really. So as I just said, as you can tell, this is my first live stream. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but this is the first live stream I've ever done. It's the hopefully not the last. Now I put up 2 videos about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, and they were really about me trying to find a studio. So now I have a studio, and I'm changing this channel, calling it MakeTherapy, and this is going to now be it's going to be called this live stream series is going to be called MakeChallenge, where I kind of provide you a bit of what I do in the background, so the design aspect. And I'm mumbling. I really gotta have a script or something, but yeah, MakeChallenge is going to be me live streaming designing. So that'll be everything from 3D design, 2D design. I'm going to be learning different new software, both Affinity Designer. I have experience in the past with Adobe Illustrator, but I feel like I need to move on into Infinity Designer, partially because I don't feel like paying a subscription for Adobe. And I'm going to be also looking at working on Fusion 360, which I'm already quite familiar with, but I really want to dive deep into it, and be Fusion 360 master. So what I'm gonna start with, I guess today, is something within design. So MakeChallenge, that I'm going to be called Remake Iterate. And so I'm going to take some old designs that I have, and I'm going to rework them basically. So today, the first one that I'm going to be doing is a mount for my DSLR. So that'll be a new webcam. So for live streaming, so I can just use this webcam over on my 3D printer for live streaming the 3D printer, or even just watching, using Octopi for it. And yeah, so let's get started. Yeah, I guess I'm going to get into the first thing. So let's get started with this design. All right, so I've got my iPad connected right now, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of sketching, but also kind of giving a background, a bit of what I've been working on so far. So this DSLR mount, I originally thought about mounting it right over my screen, obviously, and also looking at how to mount it and what are the parameters and what are the restrictions that I have. So I have here a bit of the limitations. I have the shelf option. So what do I want? I think I'm going to go back to this option here. So the shelf option is going to be the one that I'm going to go back to. Because I did try doing this pipe option, but it didn't work out. So I do have the previous. Oh, that's fantastic. Okie dokie. So I do have the previous options. Let's go back to full screen. So I have here this, which was actually supposed to slot right into the pipes, since I have shelves that actually have iron pipes. So they come right out of the wall, and I have a piece of a board that's attached to it, and so these were meant to slide right over the pipe, right like that. I don't know if you'll be able to see, like right in there, and it's already broken, so it managed to do that. And then this piece would just latch on with a little tightening apparatus, and then the DSLR sat on top here with this screw. So this was removed, and it would screw right into the bottom of the DSLR, so I could adjust the height and the angle as well, like that. So not the worst idea, but I found myself the weight of the DSLR was just bending it way too much. So I am going to be redesigning it completely today, but I'm also going to be printing it out of a different material. So I originally printed in ASA, thinking it would be pretty strong, but it turns out that it's a little weak. I mean, it is strong, it's just not rigid. So I do need rigidity. So, ASA is really cool for other things, but it wasn't for this application. So we're going to be redesigning that. So let's get into Fusion 360, and I'm going to start with the design. So let's get into the DSLR, what I had previously had. So let's see if it'll open up. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I have it here. So this is the previous design and how it would mount up. So today we're going to keep the shelf, and we're going to keep this pipe. So I don't think I'm going to be using anything of this specifically, any of this geometry, but I might. I'm actually thinking the better idea today will be to the better design for today will be, let's see if I can remove some of this origin. There we go, that origin was bothering me. We're gonna try to see if I can screw it into the side. So have a piece that's going to sit right here, and I'll screw it in on that side and on the side there with 2 screws. And also for it to go underneath as well. Now I don't have a lot of room to work with. Really, I only have this small area, and I'm looking at it right now, and there's not a ton of space there to actually mount anything. And additionally, I'm just a little worried as to how this is going to fit. So if I use my DSLR right now, I'm just going to try to mount it in the best possible spot. Or not mount it, just hold it up where I want it. So I feel like having it right there, you probably won't be able to see me, but I feel like where I have it here is going to be a good option. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Can I... can I get it there? So if I have it like that. So another thing that I want to try to do is with the DSLR, I actually want it to mount on underneath it. So I want this shoe to kind of sit right there, and so I want it to kind of cradle it from the back. And so the idea is it's going to cradle from the back, but it's also going to be able to tilt back and forth, and also with enough room to angle it just a little bit. So I do need a little bit of space from behind the DSLR, and I do need whatever part that's going to be going up and down, that needs to be able to adjust the rotation. So let's see if I have it right there, and if it comes out, if it's a piece that just sits right on the side, goes down, and then I can adjust the rotation like this. It's gonna come down. Let's get into the tablet and let's start drawing. Let's get into drawing mode, and let's see what we can do here. All right, let's get into the drawing mode. And let's start doing something here. So, I'm gonna first outline the shelf on the side. That's awful. Let's actually set this up a little nicer here so I can do a little bit of drawing. Okay, so and if you're wondering, I'm using Notability as the app and on my iPad right now. So I've got the shelf looking at it straight on, so in an orthographic view. And now I'm gonna just do the camera real quick, something like that, nothing special. And that is the parameters. Now here I'm going to have something that's on the side like this, and I'm going to have to make sure that I have, oops, let's do something thinner. I'm going to have this as a hole in it so that I can screw it in to the wood. Okay. But as far as mounting goes, how should I get it down? I feel like I'm going to need to... I wonder if I have something that goes straight down like this. Better yet, let's do this. Let's move the camera so that it's under the shelf, which it can fit. It's not great, but it can fit. And I'm also going to add in the pipe right now so that, yeah, that's awful. Sides around that. And now, if I had the mount and I went down again, right, so imagine this is behind the camera. It can then turn a little. So it comes underneath the camera and also widens up a bit. So we can actually add a little bit of a chamfer there too. And here is where I add in another hole so that we can add in a screw. I'm going to make this a screw head like this. That goes, and that's, so it's a 1/4 inch 20 for, that'll go right into the camera, and that's where I'm going to screw in that. All right, so I mean, it's fairly simple. I don't know if it's necessarily translatable, but right now, but what I can do is I can start drawing this in a couple different profiles. So let's just draw it from the side now, just to have a better understanding as well. So this is, again, the shelf, and this is, you know what I'm realizing? I probably should have like another angle looking down on me, and which is going to be good, because then what I can probably do is I can have my, that's not a bad idea now that I'm thinking about it. I should probably have my webcam as my secondary camera while I'm drawing to have another angle on me, because like looking down I just kind of look stupid. But if I have a webcam that has a secondary angle, then it's nice if I'm drawing, then it doesn't look like I'm completely just head down. So right now you can see what I'm doing, but it'd be kind of nice also that I'm not just, you see the top of my head, the whole thing. Anyway, so we have the shelf right there. We have the pipe that pretty much ends like this. It is about a 3/4 inch pipe as well, so it's about the same thickness as the piece of wood. And if I'm to go back and draw the part, let's give it a round edge on one side, another round edge on the other side. We'll do the holes for the screws, and this is for countersunk screws. So we'll have it like that. Okay, and if I'm planning on printing it so that, I'm planning on printing it so that it prints on this side. So that'll be flat on the print bed. So if I do that, I'm thinking I should probably do something like this. Give it a little bit of tent, give it a little so I want to like not make it as bulky and chunky as I did last time, but also I want to ensure that I have some strength. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be rounding off these corners and doing it that way. Now, I'm thinking, if I have it printing on this side, so if this is the print bed, so if we rotate can I rotate this whole thing? No, I can't. Okay. So if I have it printing on the side, on this side of the thing, this side of the object, then my layer lines are going to be like this. And that's not crazy problem for the shear factor pulling it, since all of my layer lines are going to be vertical like that. So that's not a problem. Where I do see it being a problem is right here. If I have a screw that's going into the camera, I'm worried that might split. That might split it right here. That might split it right here, if I'm not careful, or if I over tighten or something like that. But otherwise, the strength of the part shouldn't be too bad. The screw will be a compressive strength perpendicular to the layers, and this one is going to be parallel to the layers. So that's the one thing that I'm worried about. And the fact that let's go back here to over here, and this part is going to come out like this, and I'm gonna potentially round off this corner too, and have this be the ledge that the camera sits on, and I'll have a little bit of a corner there too, and this is also going to be sort of rounded, so it'll be something like this. And this will be this view right now is the same as this top view, just to give you guys an example. So again, I'm going to be filleting that edge just to give it a little bit more strength. If that goes out like this, and it also this face right here comes upwards towards us, then that will give me a good strength. But again, see, it's this shearing factor here. So this, because these layer lines are vertical like that, what I'm worried is that the load of the camera will be right here, or part of the load, so part of the weight, and that will cause this to shear right there. So I got to think about this a little bit more. There isn't really a good position other than this bottom plate. Let me look at my old model for a second here. So let's go back to full camera here. So if I have this part, and this was attached right here, then what happens is the load is like this. So it's not going to, it's going to have a pretty good strength. It's going to have a pretty good ductile strength. So it's not going to just like shear through as if it were splitting the layers. But the problem is it's so far cantilevered that it's actually turning it into like a springboard. So that's not exactly what I want. But at the same time, it's also strong enough. So if it was a situation where the camera was sitting on the front here, something like this, then it's better, because then it doesn't have, then the camera can come, if it's closer to the back wall here, it's not going to be so much of a springboard. It is going to have a chance to actually hold itself. So that's also another possibility. So maybe I just set it up. Let's see here. Am I missing something? could I then just do this? Let's go back to the drawing. Let's say I do this. So let's put the shelf back. Let's put the pipe back. And let's make this the face that actually rests on, yeah, this is the face that's actually going to be on the print bed. So if I do that, then I might have a better situation here. So then the layer lines are actually going to be this way, in this orientation, which is that what I have here? No, I don't. No, it's the opposite. Really, what I need to do is essentially this then. All right, let's rethink this again once more. So essentially all I need is this, and if the camera, like I said, mounts on front like this, then this piece just needs to actually sort of twist at the top here so that it can mount onto the shelf. So if that's the case, then I can continue with this type of a design. It's okay, so it's going to be an L shape like this. All right, let's start fresh here. Let's start fresh. Let's start a little fresh here. So again, this is if I do a quick piece like this, yeah. So again, I'm gonna have something like that. That's the holes for, and I am not showing my drawing again. There we go. And again, that's the holes for the mount. And this again goes down like this, comes down, and finally makes a turn underneath like that for the camera. Again, proportions are not great here, but this is just to illustrate what I'm talking about. And if the camera, whoopsie doodle, let's put the camera, make the camera white. Go, and the camera is gonna sit like this, coming out from the front, whatever. And the screw goes in right here. Screw holes in right there. And again, the screw head goes in into the camera. And these screw heads go in right here. Okay, and again, I'm going back to the idea that that it's going to be printing on this side. The only difference now is that there's no shear factor here. It's not going to shear because all of this is going to be one solid piece all the way up here. So, yeah. And I can round those over and create something like that. All right, so I think I have it. I think I have what I'm going to do. Oh, Lord. All right, and if it's right here, I'm just going to hold it up real quick just to kind of have an idea if I even have enough room for this. I do. It's not going to be much. And it appears that I'm going to move the camera for a second, everyone. I apologize. All right. And if I have it right there, then the camera should be okay right there, I guess. But now my question is, how do I make sure that I can get this to rotate up and down? Because right now I'm fixing it right onto the shelf. Unless I have it in two parts, where the part that actually mounts to the shelf has a plane that goes down with the hole, and this piece then again sits out so that the camera can sit on it, but this end is rotated 90 degrees, so it actually butts up against the plane. Perhaps. All right, let's try sketching that out a bit again. So gonna take this guy over here, and I'm gonna just duplicate him down here, and I'm just gonna delete some of the stuff that I have here. And I'm gonna do that again, where I have this piece that's right here. Let's do that again. And again, for the countersunk screws. That piece is fine. Now I need it to tilt up and down. So this part needs to come down just below the pipe, so that I can actually fit this knob. So if that's the case, that needs to be like right there, and I can tighten the knob. So this is the knob that I'm going to be tightening with a screw on the other side, so that locks in place, but then also allows me to rotate the whole panel. So if I have something like this, it's great. So that's gonna be part number one. And then let's say part number two will have the same hole, and we'll have a rounded end like that. Maybe not, because I'm gonna have to print it like this. It's gonna come down, and it's gonna come out like this. But again, I need to make sure that I have it. I need to be printing it with this, either side, either the back side or this front side needs to be printed flat, so that this is also then a chamfered edge, and again the screw holes right there. Can that work? Am I missing something here? So if this is flat, so it just ends up being two pieces like this, and the other piece is like this, and they're gonna have the hole meeting like that. That's fine. The layer lines are going to be flat for this guy, like this, and the layer lines are also going to be flat like for this guy, like that. And if I'm looking at this part right here, down here, I could widen it out on the bottom here. No, I can't. I have to keep it right there. So not much, just wide enough so that I can actually fit a screw right there. So my layer lines are still going to go like that. This is my little chamfered edge so that it holds shape. I think that's it. I think those are the two parts that I need, right? I know there's absolutely no one in the chat, and that doesn't matter, but maybe in the future someone else is going to watch this and think, yeah, that's it. Okay. So if that's super scribbly, but if that's what I need, then I think I'm good. So now I just need to figure out a bit of a couple measurements then. How far, so essentially I need to know how far is this to any arbitrary thing. I guess it will be the top of the shelf. I need to know that measurement so that I can actually get it there. This measurement here is something I can arbitrarily figure out. That's not a problem. It just has to be sufficient for the screw, that I'm going to be. And then this same thing with this thickness here. Again, an arbitrary number. I'm thinking like 5 millimeters is going to be good enough. I don't see why it should be anything more than that, or less. I don't know. And as far as this width, I think, as far as this width here, I think that that's going to be the same as this one. I feel like these two should be the same. They should be the same. So then that way, that makes a fairly even thing. So these are going to be fairly low profile prints. So that should be also quick print, which is nice. And if they're printing on their backside, then additionally, I can round this over, and that's nice. Oopsie doodle. Let me put that back on. And is there anything else that I need to know? Yeah, I guess I need to figure out this height. I need to figure out how tall this is, because I need to know where the camera needs to sit. Where the camera needs to sit so it doesn't interfere with the top here. So let me go get a measuring tape, and we're going to figure this out a bit. So give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. So I've got from the top of my screen, so that'll be basically the bottom plus the screw, so I can't really interfere with that. I've got 6 inches, so just over 6 inches. So I'm gonna say, is 5 inches enough? And the reason why I'm wondering about 5 inches is the camera is 4 inches tall. So if I have 4 inches and it's mounted right there, do I have enough with 5 inches? Bring it up. Do I have enough with 5 inches? I think I do. Okay, so this entire apparatus has to be 5 inches tall. Okay, so that gives us really what I need to know. Let me go back to the drawing. What is, so this is 5 inches. So that's a good, no. That's not true. Sorry. This to here is 5 inches. So that's the bottom of the camera to the top of the shelf. That's what I have at 5 inches. So if that's 5 inches, then if I have the screw hole at 3 inches on the top, I have room to turn it, which is great. So another measurement figured out here. That is going to be 3 inches. Okay. And as far as the width of this thing, I'm thinking 2 inches. 2 inches should be good. So same thing, this will be 2 inches. And yes, I know I can do like a double quotation marks for the inches. The thickness of the material, I was saying like what, 5 millimeters? Seems a little thin to me. So 1/8 is 3 millimeters. Say 1/4 inch? Yes, honey. My cat's trying to get some attention. If I did 5 millimeters, that's 3/16. Wow, let's do this a little nicer. Also, I promised that my writing is going to get a little better too, so that we don't have to question whether I'm an adult or not. There we go. I think we have the basics of what I need, right? Do I need anything else? I think I can kind of do it from here. What do I want? What do I want for this one right here? do I want for this distance right there between those two holes? Maybe I should probably do a nicer line. There we go. Let's say, what are we thinking? 3 inches? 3 inches between holes? Yeah, that should give me something nice. All right, let's do 3 inches. Okay. Okay. All right, let's get started on this then. We have enough of the drawing here to work with, so I'm gonna go into Fusion, back into Fusion now, and we can start designing this. Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to take this side as reference, and I'm going to rotate so we can get started here. I'm going to use the middle of this as my drawing, so I'm going to just grab my center here just to find that. There we go. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing it right here, so let me just remove this sketch because I don't actually want that. I should be drawing it in a new component. So for everyone, so this is not going to be a tutorial on how to use Fusion 360, but I am going to do my best to try to keep up with how you're supposed to use Fusion 360. But please don't take anything that I say or anything that I do as gospel. So we'll see if I can get this right. Anyway, what are we naming this component? This is going to be DSLR. DSLR. I guess it's shelf mount. Shelf mount V3 at this point, because this old one was V2, and I mirrored it several times because I didn't quite know which side of the pipe I wanted it. So I finally decided on, after going back and forth a couple times, to be on the inside of the shelf, so right underneath the shelf instead of hanging off of the shelf. So let's call that. And there's our new component. We have an origin, which we don't need necessarily, but I am going to reference this face and I'm going to sketch it. And let's just start with some construction lines here. Finding the midpoint, drawing that so I can find a new midpoint right on there. I'm gonna go, we said it's going to be 3.5 inches, so I'm gonna just pull up my drawing once more. So we said it's gonna be 3 inches from center hole to center hole, so I'm gonna do, oh no, I do not want 3D sketch, that's for sure. I'm gonna do that again. And there we go, constrain that, I'm gonna have it 0.5 inches. Right? Oh, I've got the wrong keyboard. Got it on a English Canadian. There we go. Got that. I'm gonna draw my line here. Actually, I want to know what's this dimension. That is okay, 3/4. So I'm gonna draw my line here from this point. I do not want it to be a construction line. I do want it to be 3 inches. I'm going to do that. I'm going to create a slot from this. Yeah, center to center. Yeah, that's what I want. And center point slots, center to center. So I want that's my center and that's my center. And I want it to be that big. That's my slot, nice and done. I'm going to turn this back into a construction line since I don't exactly need that. These points I'm going to use later on to create the screw holes, which I don't think I have here, but let me just pull up my old notes to see if I have dimensions on screws. Yeah. Maybe I should just get flathead screws, right? Like a button screw that just taps into the wood. Okay. Well, I mean, I have like some wood screws. It says they're 2.7 millimeters. So I'm going to put that in as a hole. It's like a 2.7 millimeter hole. But they'll just sit on top of it. So that's totally fine. Let's continue with the rest of this. What is the rest here? Let's go and see. Do we have any positions? So I had 3 inches from top. So again, I'm going to use a construction line from here to here, bring it down 3 inches. Is it 90? No, it's not 90. There we go. Now it's 90. Baby, what? I'm streaming. You're not streaming. What? You want to stream? You have more guts than I do. I'm afraid of streaming. Okay. This as well, I'm going to turn into a slot because why not? All right, let's do this. Center to center slot. Point right there to there. Let's also make this 75. There we go. I'm going to trim some of this because that's some of the geometry I don't need. There we go. And I'm going to remove this geometry too. And keep all of keep all of that. Don't judge me. No comments, please. We're gonna turn this into a God. This is looking worse and worse, isn't it? Okay, let's do 1.5. No, that's too far. 1 it is. Okay. Let's also round off this one as well. Oh God, I can hear it. I can hear the comments already. All right. That's 3 inches down. God. Everything that I say right now just makes me feel gross. All right. Kill me now. And oh, but we wanted this 3, right? Right, we did. All right, back up. Back. Oh no, it's just gonna be. I really don't. Why? Why is it that like? All right, let's do this. It's gonna be 2 inches across. That's much better. All right, that looks less weird. I like that. Oh yeah, boy. Okay, so less weird. I'm okay with this. Again, let's remove this geometry. Oops, I removed too much. There we go. And I'm gonna clip that, clip that, clip that, clip that. And I'm gonna remove this and this. And I'm gonna select all of that. Change that from a construction line. And I'm going to, again, fillet these edges. I know it's fillet. Don't come at me. 75. No, 75 is too much. 0.5 works. And same thing. I'm going to fillet these edges. Whoa. 0.5. There we go. Is 2 inches like too much now? No, it's not actually. Yeah, 2 inches is gonna be short. Like, yeah, 2 inches is not long, not wide at all. So, it just looks kind of ridiculous on this side, but we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. All right. I believe that's our first part, right? That's our first component. So let's go ahead and finish that sketch. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish that sketch. We'll come back to it and we'll open it back up. I am going to extrude this. I could, yeah, I'll go back in. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna go back to editing the sketch. I'm gonna add in the holes right now. So that was 2.7 millimeters. Now, obviously this is in inches, but if you add in millimeters, it can convert it right away, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna just put in, do I want it to bite into the plastic or not? I'm gonna do 2.75 millimeters. And so the screw is going to just go into that. Now, I gotta make sure that I get 2.75 millimeter screws. What if I did 3? Would someone hate me if I did 3? I might hate myself, but whatever. Let's do that here too. 3 millimeters. Sure thing, boss. There we go. And we got this screw. This piece is, I think it's 1/4 inch. Yeah, I think I said it's 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna make it a little bit oversized. Just gonna make it just over 1/4 inch. 2.5. So let's make it 0.3, just to give it a little bit of wiggle room on there. And I'm gonna use a washer and a screw on that. So there, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that geometry. Click and click. I'm gonna rotate this just so everyone can see. And we're gonna extrude it. How thick are we gonna extrude this? I was saying 1/4 inch might be nice. Should I do more? So it's like a 1/4 inch plate at this point. That's basically like what I'm making this. Which, now that I'm thinking about this, once I get my whatchamacallit, CNC running, I could potentially just CNC this thing out of aluminum, and that would be nice. So for now, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it there. Okay. Real simple. Okay. All right, I'm gonna create another body. I'm gonna reference this face for the rest of it, I think. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. So I know that from the center of this hole to the top is 3 inches. So I'm gonna just draw another line here from the center of the hole to finish off the 5 inches that I need to get to, which is gonna be 5. So it's gonna be 2 inches that's remaining. So that's gonna be, this is gonna be the top surface of the part that's actually going to hold the camera. So that's my slot. That's one thing I don't know. I don't know how far forward I need to make this. So let's see. Where does, I don't need the flashlight. I didn't know that. Oh, it just pops up. That's pretty cool. How far from the back is the mount, the screw mount? Looks like it's 1 inch. Just shy of 1 inch. Looks like 7/8. All right, so it's 7/8. So if I did 1.5 inches, well, let's think of it this way. From that center point, I want it to kind of go over the full thing. So over the full, like across the whole base of the camera, I've got 1 3/4 inches. So I want 1 3/4 inches over that whole thing. Plus, say it's going to be 2 inches until it hits that. Okay, so this whole thing is going to be 4 inches. All right. It's going to be 3 inches. Sorry. 3 inches. There we go. So this whole... That doesn't make sense. 3 inches until the end of it? Or until... Until the center? Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So let's, what's the easiest way to do this? All right, I'm gonna make this again a slot, just because center point to center point. We're gonna make that 2. This I'm going to offset down. We agreed 1/4. And I'm just going to close this off. What is this? What? I can draw multiple things in one shot? No, I don't know. It must be a glitch. All right, let's do that. There. That. Okay. That line is no longer. These are not reference lines. I'm going to extend this guy. Whoops. Nope, not that. Extend. There we go. That and that are not reference lines. They are legitimate lines. I'm going to trim this off. There we go. And I'm going to trim that off too. Oh, got it. And this I'm going to not make that. All right, so that closes it off. Good. What? So I was thinking again, if I have it like this, and it turns into springboard, so that's a good layer line direction with weight distribution. And then this large part back here ends up being nice and flat. So again, those layer lines, the screw is compressing the layer lines, so that's good too. I'm gonna just draw another line here, just so I can make 2 changes, and I'm going to extend this straight down and extend this guy again. Sorry, what are you? I don't care. I'm gonna rotate this just so I don't interfere with anything else. Right there, and extend that. All right, we're good. And trim that, and trim that, and that. And I'm just trimming way too much, so I'm just gonna extend that. All right, we are good. All right, this I'm going to remove now because I don't need that geometry reference. What are you? Do I need you? Yeah, I did, but I'm going to use... Oh, well, that's why I did that. All right, so sorry. Construction line. Do that again like that. Okay, so that's good 90. So these are 2 parts that I'm going to be extruding. Not at the same time, but enough. So I'm going to extrude that, and that's going to be the 1/4 inch that we got, but I'm not going to join it. I'm going to make it a new body. Okay. and I want that sketch to come back, so it automatically disappears. But this, I'm going to extrude. We agreed that this is also going to be 2 inches. Wow, that's massive. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if it needs to be 2 inches. Let's make it 1 inch. No, 12, not 12, buddy. Not 21, sorry. 1 inch. If I make it 1 inch, it looks a lot more reasonable. Let's join those 2 parts. And then I'm gonna fillet this corner. Let's make it 1/2 inch. 75. Half inch. Sure. And another thing I want to fillet is this. I'm going to do it 0.25. Yes. It's going to be, it might be snug to it, so I might bump this just another 0.25 just to be safe. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to round off, no, I'm going to round off these 2 corners. I am going to fillet these 2 corners though. Just for aesthetics. 2.5. There we go. So that I can still have something flat to print on. And that's what's going to print. These are the 2 parts. Righty then. Do I want this to be a slot by any chance? So that the camera can go up or down? Make this a slot? Should I? Tempting. Let's go back in here. Yep, I'm gonna make it a slot. It's gonna be a slot. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna make this a slot. Center to center. And it's gonna be 0.3 for the hole. There we go, finish that. Let's see how well that turned out. That didn't turn out at all. So I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna remove that first body. Actually, I'm gonna go back into the extrusion for that piece. And I'm gonna remove those. Done. There we go. Now it's a slot. So now it can go up and down if need be. There we go. And I'm going to turn that sketch off again. And I think that's going to be almost it. Now I just got to put in this hole right here for the camera mount. And that's going to be how far away from the front, or rather how far away from the back. I said I'll make it 1 inch, so it'll be 1 inch away. I'm going to center that, so I'm just going to take this thing right here, perfect. I'm going to take one of these. Yeah, I'm just going to, okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a construction line right there. It's not the right spot, but that's okay. But now I have my middle. I'm going to bring it up to here. Now I got that. Got that line. And I'm going to dimension this. Oh, it is 1 inch. Well then, cool. That was lucky. I guess I used rounded numbers, so that makes sense. All right, so that, yeah, so that curve is going to be after it anyway, so it gives me a little bit of space from the back of it. And so we're gonna just draw a little hole here, again 0.3 for the size of the screw. I'm gonna finish that sketch, and I'm gonna just cut that out, extrude that out, and we are good. And again, I'm just gonna use a washer and a nut under there. Sorry, a washer and a screw, and that'll be that, and this will be that. Let's think about strength here and where the compressions are going to be. So again, if I'm putting a load on here and it's going to be printing flat on this side of the 3D printer, that's going to create layer lines that are going to go across like this. So the weight again is going to be distributed there, so that's nice. I've got these fillets to minimize stress points, so it's not sharp edges, which is good. This should have, so we should only have compressive forces between these two planes, so that's nice to think about. All right, and then this whole thing is just going to be weighting, it's going to be weighted down. Okay. What about if for this part, I print on this end, but I actually get a piece to wrap over onto the top of the shelf. How much space do I have there? I have 0 space to actually do that because there is, oh man. All right, let me check this out. Give me 2 seconds. So let's say I want it right there. If I have the camera right there, that's behind it. I mean, I guess I could. Right behind it? How much room do I have back there? If I have 3 inches, that's great. If I don't, that's too bad. All right, I do have 3 inches. So it could sit as a lip on top. I mean, you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna have to just accept that. I'm gonna do another sketch on here. It's not a perfect design. All right, it's not a perfect design, but it's okay. It's gonna do what it needs to do. So I'm gonna do 1 inch over. I'm gonna do another inch over. Line those up, put that over. I'm gonna extrude this guy the 1/4 inch. Yes, I will extrude it a 1/4 inch. I'm going to fillet those edges. Fillet, I know. A 1/4 inch. What? Isn't it going? No? 1/4 inch. There we go. All right. Do that. And then okay, I'm going to round these corners as well. Let's do 1/2 inch on that. Because see, if yeah, if I have the layer lines running across like this, so if it's printing flat on this surface, the layer lines are going to run along this flat plane, but then they're going to be really thin over here. So it's really meant to add just a bit more strength. So the screws are going to be put in this way, so that's going to already add some strength into the side. This is really just meant to stabilize everything. What I would really like to kind of see is a rib on the outside here. So like just a bulge. I know it sounds weird, a bulge, but like a bit of mass right here on the back end here to kind of give it a little bit more strength. But the problem is it has to print on that side, and I need to keep this right angled so that it actually latches on to the shelf option. I mean, not a great option would be if I had another piece underneath here as well that kind of like sandwiched it. It's not a bad, it's a possibility. Alternatively, I could have a third part that sits on top of here that has its layer lines in perpendicular to these ones, and that adds support there, but then it adds a bit of mass, which I may or may not need. I'm going to stick with this for now, just because I feel like this is going to provide me with enough strength. I say that now, but we'll see. Let's go for the center. Let's try to find that. There we go. Edge to, what do I got here? I got 1.5 inches, yeah, marginally. Let's say 1 inch away from center. Oh, there's the, oh, you know what I could probably do? Yeah, you know what, I should just screw it in there. So that's gonna be 3 millimeters. 3 millimeter hole right there. I'm just gonna use, yeah, again, that right there, 3 millimeters. And that's that. And again, those are going to be 2 screws that are going to go right on top. So it really looks like this piece is actually, this bracket's actually going to sit closer to this back section right here. That, in reality, that's probably where it's going to sit. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I'm feeling good with that, with this. So let's finish the sketch. I'm going to just do these holes right here. Well, if I can grab it right there. I'm going to turn off the shelf, so just so I can see underneath. Extrude. And there. And under. Thank you. No, 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 no. I want those holes, please. There we go. And extrude to underneath. All right, cut. Perfect. All right. I think that's it. That is what I'm going to do. Yeah, I mean, in the future, this could be an aluminum part that's bent. So sheet metal might be something to look at, especially if it's 1/4 inch. Maybe I could do it. Same thing with this part. This could also be sheet metal at some point that is bent. So potentially, we'll see what the future holds if I end up doing this in sheet metal. But otherwise, those are the 2 parts. Let's give it the shelf bracket. Let's give it some names. This will be the camera bracket. And I'm going to turn on the shelf once more. Let's turn on the full thing just to look at for a little bit. I'm going to turn off all the sketches, turn off the sketches. and just discuss a bit of the design to it. So because this is behind the camera, that leaves then both sides free. So the left side of the camera, if you're facing it, has the little cable that powers it, since it's a DSLR is meant to be battery packed, but it's kind of like a dummy battery pack that actually plugs into the wall. And on the right hand side is the USB jack, and so those two sides need to be free. So that's why those are like that. I wondering, should I add any functionality for the wire so that when it comes out I can just like clip it there? Sure. I mean, I'm here, why not? Let's do that. Let's design it. Let's add it. Let's add a little, let's see how wide is this wire? Where's that USB cable? Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Where did the USB cable go for it? Is this it? Is this it? Oopsie. Is this it? Is this it? No, that's the other control. Is this it? That is the thing. I really wish I still had it somewhere. Nope. That it? Thought it. All right, there it is. All right, so it's back. Well, that's super annoying. So the camera's right there. Let's say, for example, whoa, oh, I'm taking you guys for a ride. The camera's right there. That goes around. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What's the rough diameter of this thing? We're looking at about 1/4 inch. All right. So let's do something like this. Let's make it 5. Let's make it, all right, so we got 2.5. Let's make this 0.5. Let's make this 0.5. Make it 2.5, sure. Yep. All right, so that's my thing right there. I'm gonna make it, oh, come on, 0.25, and then I'm gonna make it coincident. Remove that. Do I have a line? Yeah, I do have mysterious line. That's what something Fusion's been doing recently, and I don't know if it's my mouse necessarily or what it is, but it's been registering some weird actions. All right, so let's make a coincident from that point. Whoops, come on. From that point to that point. Nope, to that point. I don't like. Come on. Coincident from that point to that point. Done. All right. And I'm gonna just close this off. That, yeah, let's gonna make this, that's 90 degrees. Let's make it 65 degrees. Tab, 65 degrees. I know it's not making sense what I'm doing right now, but 60? Yeah, 60. Okay, let's do that. And then this is gonna be 60 as well. Tab 60. There we go. And the reason for this, you'll see in a second. Right there, and that one right there, and remove. Gonna see. Yes, okay, I'll do that. And then right, let's put that right there. This is, oh, see, yeah, it does this. If I try, like if I click and move too fast, it thinks that I'm registering another click somewhere, which is really annoying at this point. There we go. I know I could probably do this with the chamfer. Oh, no. I can't, there we go. That's fine. I know I'm doing this a bit backwards right now, but that, I don't mind. I don't care. I don't care. Right there. Ooh, no. Any of that. Oh, interesting. It's not connecting. Okay, let's extend. Let's see if I can extend that then. Sure. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's see. There we go. That's was my problem right there. Open that up too. Open that up too. Remove that. Okay, and I'm gonna fillet those corners right there. Fillet that corner right there. That corner. That corner. Yep. Oh, nope, that didn't like it. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna just do that. We're gonna do that, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. All right, and this in there, and that's another 0.03. Like the rest of it. Dimension, yeah, 0.03. Also 0.03, yeah. That's fine. And then, yeah, that's a way for the cable to sit snugly. So I'm going to finish sketching that, and I'll bring the sketches back. Oh, no, I did it in there. Let's see. Can I drag this? Can I drag that sketch in? Can I drag it in here? Can I drag you? Can I drag you in here? You gonna fit? Yes, you went in the right spot. I love you. Thank you. Then I'm gonna remove. Gonna go back in. Remove that. Remove that. We don't need any of that, right? Finish. And I don't need. Let's go back in. Remove that as well. Finish. Now that's what I need. Perfect. Alright. And I'm going to extrude that by the 1/4 inch. Nope, other way. In the negative direction. And that will be that. And this, I'm going to give it another little chamfer. Yeah, sure. No, fill it. I'm going to fillet that thing. I'm going to fillet that thing. The 1/4 inch, but is that too much? No, that's perfect. Or maybe more? Maybe more? Maybe more? Do a 1/2 inch? Do you mind 1/2 inch? Was that too much? That's too much for you. 1/4 inch. 0.3. 0.4. You don't like 4. 0.35. You're okay with 3.5. All right, good. Now I have a little cable clip for the back there too. Very, very nice. All right, I think this is where I'm gonna call it. So we have those two parts, and I'm gonna change this in the appearance. Go to plastics. Open the plastics. There we go. ABS white. Nope. We're gonna make that nice and pink because I'm gonna print this in pink. And it's gonna be PLA, but it doesn't matter. And apply pink. And yeah, it's gonna be pink. It's gonna be awesome. There we go. Okie dokie. That, I believe, is going to be the end of the video. All right, thanks again. I mean, next time I'm hoping that I'm actually going to be able to give you a maybe bit more organized video. This is the first one. I just needed to make something and get it out and not think about it ever again. And I'll talk about it in an actual video that I'm going to make, not just a live stream, to introduce the channel of MakeTherapy, all the different series that are going to be involved, and the different projects, and the theme, what it's going to be about. But just a little tidbit, it's about making, but it's really about the everything around making. So the anxieties and the thought patterns and the learning how to problem solve. Instead of just copying, and learning how to overcome problems, whether that be the problem solving for a project or just problems and issues that arise from our I don't know how to explain it. Issues that arise from, being a maker and the anxieties around it, and, navigating that and kind of discussing it at the same time as making, and just that weird dynamic between those two things. So I'll have it written out, and I'll have it scripted, and I'll actually make a video that actually is going to make more sense. But that was just a quick explanation on that. So to anyone that ever watches this, please forgive me. This is, again, my first video, and I hope that I'm going to make better live streams, and I'm going to be more organized and learn. I'm afraid to watch this in the future, but I will, and I'll take note on what I need to do to fix it. So thanks again, and hope to see you soon.